What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
What you do?
What they do?
What's up, y'all?
Yo, so let's get it started.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome everybody to Cam Kirk Studios. This is the After Podcast. We've been doing a couple of episodes, but we're here again with another one for today.
What's up with y'all?
My name is Cam Kirk. If you don't know that, I'm the owner of Cam Kirk Studios. And, it's dope to have you guys here with us joining in. I want to take this time to let you guys know who I'm on the podcast with. So we're going to go around the room and everybody's going to explain who they are, what they do. And we're going to get the show rolling. We got a good show for you guys, but let's kick it off to my left.
I'm Ozzy. I model, I produce, I make beats. I am a creative. And here at the studio, I'm a music curator for Cam Kirk. So I'm over our music department. So our playlists, artists, shoots, anything in the music field, that's me. That's what I do.
Thank you. Maz, you just passed it to me. It's Keenan, you feel me? AKA Convention, you feel me? I'm a photographer, creative director, you feel me? So I'm just, here enjoying life. I'm a dad. I'm a live wire, you feel me? And I would just go ahead and throw it to Sue, you feel me?
Because this is Sue. I'm Sue Young, Big Wop. Whichever way you want to sauce it up a little bit.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you might know me. You might have seen me in your favorite artist videos. I used to model back in my golden days.
Yeah, you have your
But you might know me now as being, a stylist, a creative director. Anything dealing with fashion, anything, that's me. I am it. All of that. You feel me?
Yo, I'm Marco. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and just a creator, really. Pretty much. That's it. Let's get it started.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys got to hear who I'm joined with. Once again, the way the podcast works, it's a cool idea. I like it. But the way the podcast works, pretty much, you can join each of our individual lives and watch a firsthand perspective of what we're doing. So you guys are here watching me. You guys get to see how I respond and react to the crazy stuff they might say. But then you also can join the Cam Kirk Studios live over at Cam Kirk Studios, and you can kind of watch everybody on here and get a kind of perspective of what to expect on today's show. So I want to start this off with a question that I get asked more than anything. I think it's only right to kind of start at the beginning. The question I always get asked is just like, how did you get into photography and how did you even know you wanted to be a photographer? So it got me thinking about when was that moment that I really decided, I'm going to be a photographer and I'm going to use my camera to make a career out of this. So I want to start the show by going around the room and hearing exactly when you guys decided you guys were going to really take this career path that you're on now serious, and when you knew this is what you're supposed to do.
Okay, so I obviously named that I do a handful of things. So with modeling, I kind of was born into that. My mom, as a baby, put me in pageants and little shows and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it wasn't until, well, people don't know that it's like I'm really a shy person. Like,
Yeah, right.
I know what I'm saying. Like as my personality is not shy, but like having to really growing up, like having to do a walkway. I can be in the room with people I know and I'm comfortable with and do like a runway little fashion show thing. So that's what made my mom be like, let's start putting you in stuff. Like, let's get you. We would go to these auditions and I would literally start crying, fall out.
Wow.
It was just crazy. So she was like, I gotta figure out how to make you get into your thing. So then after that, just over time, I got comfortable with myself, growing up, just growing up into a woman, I guess. I just started learning myself more. I liked it. People kind of pushed me to do it more so, but I never really was big on it. And then now, I've slowed down on it because of my other careers that I found more of a passion for. Beat making, I started doing that because I was DJing, actually. And one day, it was at a friend's house, and he had it was Logic on his computer, and he let me kind of play around with it. I actually really liked it way more than DJing. I was supposed to be at DJ lessons, and I was trying to make producer lessons. I was like, can I come here instead? I'm supposed to be in the studio, but I want to be over here. And so I kind of just got into it like that. was doing it for like a year low key, and then I just started really talking about it, really putting it out there. And then creative directing, I'm still fresh with that. Thanks to Cam, I had the opportunity to build up a portfolio though with it. And I say I want to do it because I think I've always came to Cam with almost with DJing. I came to you about every career. Y'all don't know that, but every career choice I've ever made, I come to Cam first about everything.
Everybody go to Cam.
I literally go to Cam for everything.
Everybody go to Cam.
I'm like, Cam, like this idea, and like, isn't I say that in a sense because Cam really helps me like figure out how to like focus that in, like figure it out. Like Cam always told me, like when he realized I wanted to do a lot with myself, he always would say like I support that and like you can like by all means, but you know you gotta like do it one by one, figure out like accomplish that first thing, go to the next thing. Like you gonna figure out what's for you, but you can still do all these things. And then it was just good advice all the time that he gave me. So
That is Cam.
Yeah, that is Cam. So then I think even when I started making beats, ran into him somewhere, I was like, I make beats. Like, I'm doing that now. he supported it, he fucked with it. So that was always love. The music department, my music curator here at Cam Kirk though, that I think that just came naturally.
Yeah.
I've always been in the music industry, some way, one way or the other, and I realized at a young age that I've always wanted to be involved with the music industry. When I started doing video modeling, doing music videos, I knew like I didn't care for modeling and being the video girl much, but I knew I wanted to do something. Like I knew the artists, I knew the people, the A&Rs, I knew the managers, I knew everybody in the music industry. I knew the concert event organizers, I knew everybody, and I had nothing to do with the music industry. I was like, it's something in the industry for me. So, you know, when I did producing, cool. But then when I came to Cam, and Cam, you know, we agreed on me joining the team. And he wanted me to come into this department and you know, work for it. I really felt like this is me. Like, this is my time to really step out of that box and be like, boom, you really want this position, you really want this job, you really want a career, a title for yourself that's more than just modeling and Instagram and social media. You need to, like, come with the A game. And, you know, I feel like I've been doing pretty good.
That's
you know?
That's Cam for you. He gonna how you look at, you know, your life at hella different perspectives.
Yeah. So Keenan, when was it that you kind of made that decision that you want to pursue photography?
Really in college. Like college was it. I was running track, and my last year of college.
Were you fast?
Yes, I was fast.
I believe. I definitely.
I don't
I was
I
fast.
believe it.
So before, listen on
Lot
everything.
wire.
Before photography, I promise you, I knew it was the Olympics. Like
You were going to
I
Olympics?
knew, I knew it, but I had to really work. I had to work for it. But it was my last year of it was my last year of school and my last year of eligibility going into the outdoor season. So my internship, I believe, was like capstone or something like that, and I had to like basically update the school's website with all sports pictures, which was so crazy because what I'm doing now is sports photography. You feel me? But yeah, they told me like I ain't got no more eligibility left to run track.
Couldn't run track no more.
I couldn't run track no more, so it sat on my head, and I was just like, oh, like this might be it. Like I gotta go to the track meets, but I finessed my school for my scholarship though. So I was lit.
So when you picked up the camera back then,
I picked up
you
the
saw
camera.
it as a career, or you just saw it as something to kind
I
of
seen
get
it
by?
as a career when I was on campus doing other people's doing other people's photos, doing videos. Like back then, I don't know if y'all remember, but Instagram was like 15 seconds.
Yeah, 15-second video.
It was
Wow.
so quick. Like if you, but nobody was used to seeing videos on Instagram because nobody really know how to do them on campus but me. So like when like I went to HBCU Central State, so when like the Greeks came out, Kappas, the Alphas, I would go just shoot. Like forget it, I'm about to use my camera. I had this camera from my class because I had to buy a camera to pass the class. If I didn't, it was like my film production class. You couldn't pass the class if you don't have a camera. So I had to go save my bread, which another thing I was doing so crazy because I was doing fashion. I was selling my shirts, which was convention, and I was I had to sell my shirts, get my money up, go buy a camera. Bought a camera, start doing that, and it was lit. Everybody's like, oh yeah, this is it. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. Even all my professors, this is what you're gonna do. But I was doing video. I wasn't even really into photography like that. Like I was doing it, but
so it started with video.
It started with video,
and you saw it as a career then. When people kind of was like, "You're good at it."
You're good at it. You're super good at it. And then when I started, like I used to be in class. Like I used to finish my work super early, and I just get on YouTube. It's so funny, like when you talk about Cam, that's how like I was introduced to Cam on the internet, just literally going to YouTube, and I think it was the break. Y'all know Cam direct video. A lot of people don't know that. No, like direct videos.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of people don't know.
a lot of people don't know that. Like a lot of people don't know. Like the first video I seen from you was
Again.
Not again. Hell.
Man, you
Migos.
old.
Nah, you old.
late.
It was Migos. What's the video with Pee Wee Longway in the it was breast
Ounces with the Migos.
ounces. It was ounces.
See?
It's
I
so
knew it.
crazy. Like
Something.
ounces. I was like, I gotta
said both
go
of
down to
them.
Atlanta
No,
and go fuck with Cam. You feel me? Like I ain't know Cam. I was like, I gotta go fuck with bruh. And I seen just how like bruh edited the video. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just edit. And then back then, editing, you ain't have to do the shit you doing now for editing. You gotta do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, man, that's what I realized
You
what I
gonna
wanted
see
to do. So
You gonna see it.
it was really in college.
So in college.
College.
What about you, Sue? When did you realize this is what you was going to do?
So
I don't even. The crazy thing is, I still don't know
Okay.
exactly what I want to do. I know I want to be in fashion. I don't know. I could be designing, being a stylist. I'm like stuck between being a stylist and designing. You can do both, which they go hand in hand with each other.
Yeah.
But I've learned, because I've always been good at a lot of things. That's been my problem, been juggling doing. Like everything I set my mind to do, I try to do it, but it be just so much going on. But for me, when I was in the military, a lot of people don't know I was in the military, and I was stationed in Korea, and I was in the military for 3 years. But it was like probably like my second year in the military. It just like a lot of events that happened with me that I knew. Dealing with the government, like the army, I was just like, this ain't for me.
It wasn't for
It
you.
wasn't for
yeah.
me. But growing up as a kid, though, I always was amazed with girls. I knew I wanted to be on TV, and I knew I wanted to be like something in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Because I always used to be like, I wanted to be like the girls in the music videos, but back like not the shaking booty videos, but
I know
like
what you mean.
you know what I'm saying? Back like
The star of the show.
Yeah, like
The leading ladies.
Shaking booty.
like the flashing lights video with Kanye.
Yeah.
That video and like Excuse Me Miss with Jay-Z. Those like
that was hard.
that and Front and Pharrell video. Those three videos, like growing up, I was like, I want to be like, so I just knew I always want to do that. When I got to the military, well, for really, I thought I was in the same way with sports. I thought like either I was gonna run track, like I'm really trying to go to the Olympics, or I was gonna play soccer, like I'm trying to play for the women's team. But life comes at you fast, and your body fast. I can work out. My knees and my ankles start acting crazy, and then reality just starts setting in. Like, but I was had the privilege to play overseas when I was with the Army. That was cool, but you know, like I said, just certain aspects come and you realize, like, am I really about to play for Team USA right now? And I think that year, that's when they did, I think the year 2000, I forgot what year it was, but they canceled out the women's soccer team going to the Olympics. So I think that was really, I was like, yeah, this.
It's over with.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. So, but I just always knew, like, I wanted to be in the limelight. Then when I got out the Army and I came to Atlanta, I kind of just got threw into the video girl thing because it was just like, I'm big on networking. And that's how I was. I didn't know nobody in Atlanta. I don't have family here. People are like, oh, your mom? No, I don't have no family. I think I have like 1 or 2 cousins now. But I don't have no immediate family here. So I moved down here and I know nobody, and I really just network. And videos is what I network. And I started knowing these artists and everything. But it got to that point when I got tired of always being stereotyped. Yeah. When for real, like, I've always been on the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me. Like, when I don't want to be in lingerie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets to a point then I got to the point where, like, I kind of demanded certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I set a tone for myself, and I just felt like a lot of those needs weren't being met as being a video girl. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I just got tired of it. Like, I don't care for the clout. But so I'm still now in that transition of people respecting what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's greatly have been improved in the last year or so. You know, people know, like, Sue, they might not know exactly what it is with fashion because shit, I mean, like I said, I am a stylist and I am a creative director and a designer. But you know, people come to me like, oh no, for personal shopping reasons and stuff like people know I'm the go-to person, which is cool. But it's like now I'm trying to gain the respect of like being a designer.
That's
I feel like that transition would be really good.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, that now you're in a position where you can tap into things that you're passionate about and kind of work and find a way to make it a career. You know what I mean? And it's dope that fashion is something you lean back on, and now you style some NFL players and athletes and artists. So that's really sick. What about you, Marco? Like, when did you realize like you wanted to get into either filmmaking or photography?
With filmmaking, I grew up doing a lot of acting around like the theater, and then once I really did my first short film about 2 years ago, and I saw the after effect, how many people tuned in. I really wasn't. I had did it as a fun project with my boy, so like when we put it out and got even really over 100 views, I was like, oh. Then like check, now it's over 1,000, now it's over 2,000, now it's over 3,000. I'm like, oh, people tapped in. It's like people telling me they liked it. Emotion, like when you create art, I feel like one of the main purpose of creating art is to bring emotion out of somebody else. Like you want people to feel something. Knowing people felt something, I was like, oh yeah, I wanna do this. And then photography was actually crazy. I got in trouble like my senior year in high school, and I had to take like an elective. So they was like, they had stuck me with a yearbook lady, but we was already cool.
Man.
We was already cool.
Oh wow!
She was like, so she gave me this camera and was like, yo, like just take pictures at the games and stuff. But she ain't like, she gave it to me, so I was taking it home, and like everybody on Instagram was like, how you getting your picture so sharp? I was taking it home, snapping up my boys and stuff, like just for some fun.
I figured it out.
And then once I went to Howard, I bought my own camera. I bought a small little camera, not a little Nikon, the latest version of the Nikon. I bought the small latest version of Nikon. I don't even have it no more. And I started taking pictures at the parties.
Yeah.
Just to like get to know people, because you know Howard a party school. And I was just taking pictures of my friends. But once my artistry changed and I came back to Atlanta, I knew that like the talent and passion that I had could turn into a career. So right now that's what I'm working on.
You're doing your thing too.
Yeah, that's dope.
I want to let you know that you're doing your thing.
Appreciate you.
That's dope, Marco. Like a lot of people your age definitely don't even know what it is they're supposed to do.
Right.
So that's dope that you've been able to experiment and figure those things out. I know, like for me, I didn't really know I wanted to do photography till I graduated college. So I was like 22, 23, I think. And I was just like out of a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I just had a camera and I just leaned on it. You know what I mean? So it's funny though, when I look back and people always ask me that question, they assume because my dad's a photographer that it's just in my blood, or I was born to do it, or I was, you know what I mean? And I never really looked at it that way until later, that I started to look at all the signs, like my name being Cam, you know, my dad's a photographer. Like, I'm like, you know, maybe you was always supposed to do this stuff. And it just got me thinking, like, you know, hearing your story, Keenan, and how you got into photography after track. So it was almost, for a lot of you guys, it was almost y'all plan B, whatever path you guys are on now, not necessarily your first one. But Keenan, was there anything prior to college or prior to track that you look back on now and you're like, damn, I was always good at taking pictures, or I was always, you know, taking my family's pictures or something? Was there anything that kind of brought you to photography that you can think of back then?
I would say networking.
Networking. He's a people person.
I'm right. What?
Like I'm a
That's interesting, because I would think that's like the opposite for a photographer. Because I always credit me being quiet to why photography works, but you may have an opposite approach.
But the craziest thing is, like, I used to, like, it's so crazy that we got that the little camera that Roderick's holding right now, the VHS camera. Because, like, I remember I would take that camera with me everywhere. Like, I would take it to middle school when I wasn't supposed to bring it and pull it out. Like, I remember my mama had it. She didn't know I was leaving the house with it, but I used to just take it and I just, record my friends. And then, like, we would just be, like, I just be documenting everything just so we could have. I used to have, like, I don't even know how I had pictures. I want to say, like, Walgreens used to print out. You can print out the pictures at
Walgreens, you got packed
and I had a Nokia 6010 to take the picture, go to, I don't know how I had it. I don't know, like, I just remember having pictures in my locker.
How old were you then?
I was 8th grade, 13.
Damn.
13. I remember having pictures in my lockers of me and my friends. And
you took them?
And I took them, they took them,
yeah.
Passing around, I just have them, you feel me? But I ain't look at it as like, I'm gonna be a photographer. It was memories,
crazy.
More so of anything, because like, even how we got the pictures in the studio of documents. I don't even look at all this stuff as like, technical photography. I look at everything literally as documenting time and have the memories, because 20, 30 years from now, we gonna look back at this like, bruh, we was like, this was crazy. Like, we had fun in our life. And networking, I was just, the people person in the city. Of course, my brother Means, we used to always run around the city, just, being social, being at all the parties. And that was really pretty much it. Like, I wouldn't say like I was aiming to be like a photographer. Like,
but you look back now, and there's moments where photography or pictures kind of were involved.
Definitely.
And that's interesting. I know, Mazza, you mentioned how you were kind of into modeling as a child or young, and then now it's almost a way that you make money. What about music? Like, was music like a big part of your childhood, and is that what got you into maybe even thinking about producing?
Yeah, I think music was definitely a big part of my career. Like I told you, in a way, like I said, my being shy is like, if I'm cool with you, I'm comfortable with you, I'm not shy, obviously, but with, like, I don't like attention in a sense. Like, I like to be active. I like to do stuff with people I'm comfortable with and be crazy. I have, like, my personality, how it is. But I definitely will say I just don't like attention. So my mom would say, though, like, as a kid growing up, music would come on. She was like, I was always dancing. She always thought I was going to be, like, a dancer or, like, something in that type of sense for music. But she just would always tell me, like, you just always were active with music. You always loved music. I was always singing songs I probably had no business singing, but it'd be like the way the beat sounded, something like that. I really liked it. Like, or it'd be something else. I don't know. I would just sing songs all the time. So then now, music is like a go-to though for me. If I'm sad, I go to listen to music. If I'm happy, I listen to music. I said there's a lot of things that I do that I have to have music with, in a sense that I can't do certain things if I don't have music.
It's life.
Music is just something that I do, and in a sense, but beats. So like, I will make beats. Like, I might be in a mood where I'm really like I might be irritated. I'm like, I'm gonna go make a beat right now.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get the feeling like I just want to go do this. And people like, let's go do something else, because I can't go to the studio. So like, let's go do something else. And I'm like, nah, I'm just sitting in the house now, figure out a way.
That's
like,
what you want to do.
Yeah, like that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna end up calling all my homeboys. I'm calling somebody. I'm gonna go to the studio. Like, we gotta make this happen tonight. And they feel that they understand it. So they kind of just, if I can get in, I get in. If not, I'll just go to bed. Go the next day and try again. I'm gonna keep trying until I get in that studio. That's one thing about it. If you ever see me in the studio, I've been in the studio for like 8+ hours every time I go. So I be in there for a minute, but
that's what's up. So that leads me to like my next topic I want to kind of talk about. Another question I get asked a lot. I graduated from college, Morehouse College. I graduated a degree in marketing, and the question I get asked often is just like, "Yo, did you study photography at Morehouse, or did you learn what you know now from Morehouse?" And it's definitely like it's ways I can answer that either which way. Like, definitely the way I kind of approach life and the way I look at my photography or my business was definitely sparked by Morehouse. But obviously, I'm a self-taught photographer, so I didn't go to school for it, for photography. But that's obviously like a debatable thing. And hearing you guys' story, I know we have a diverse story of college, military, dropping out of college, and all these different pathways. Do you guys kind of credit, do you feel like you needed to go to school for your career, Keenan?
I would say this. I feel like I didn't need to go to school, but I'm glad I went to school because school taught me a lot as far as, just being, you know, school really grew me to be a man though. Like,
Yeah, that's what I say. I said the
like
same.
it grew me to be a man. I learned a lot, been through a lot. A lot of people don't even know. Like I stopped. I went to. I think I took 5 years, because I set out like a year and a half. It was just a lot of shit. Like, but met a lot of people. Like I love what I do love about school is that because of course I'm social. Like I love meeting people from all over the world.
Great
like,
networking
The
place.
network is OD. Like still to this day, like
Yeah.
people still salute me for everything that I did on camera. So that's the only thing I will say. I did learn as far as like me learning like photography. I would say it kind of showed. Well, let me say this for video. I had to understand Final Cut, how to edit and things like that because they introduced it to me. But I wasn't in school. It was introduced to me in school. Even though I did see a lot of people doing it, but it was introduced to me, and I actually got a sit down and a breakdown of how to use these programs to further me to this day.
So it gave you like a jump start.
Gave me a jump
It
start.
kickstarted you, and then
But for
what about you, Marco? You decided to leave the illustrious Howard University.
Howard.
What was that decision about? Like, what drove you to kind of decide like that school wasn't for you, and it wasn't necessarily going to put you in a position, I guess, where you felt was a best pathway to kind of pursue your career?
Well, like a lot of people always ask me if I would ever go back, and I tell them no.
I asked you that. Yeah, I definitely asked
No,
you
no,
that.
But like, I don't regret going at all because I feel like it was essential to my artistry. Like before I left Atlanta, growing up in Atlanta kind of secluded my mind. Like when I went to Howard and met folks from New York who I play Young Thug for, and they like, bro, what is this? That blow. I'm sitting there like crazy. Like, you know what? But like even the music, the way they talk, the way different art affects them, what art brings to them. Yeah. Going there just taught me like, man, like I want to connect to all these people. Yeah. Like whatever I do needs to be on a certain type of scale. You feel me? Like if I didn't go to Howard, I really wouldn't know that I needed to affect everybody outside of Howard. So it really wasn't even leaving school as in I just can't be here no more. I just knew an opportunity open outside of another lane open.
And you just thought it was best to pursue that.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I mean, I'm sure that decision was a tough one, and I'm sure your people was on you about that. But you came back to Atlanta, and that's something I want to get into. Mozzie, you grew up here part of your time, and you went to high school here. So, and a lot of us kind of transplants, so we moved here after. Would you think that you'll be doing what you're doing if you kind of lived in another city?
If I lived in another city, I'd probably be so different. I think my parents had a debate with me all the time. My parents don't fuck with each other, so I'm going through that. Yeah, I go through that a lot. So it's my mom saying like, you would have grew with your dad, you would have tattoos, you would probably be married. She has an expectation on how my life's supposed to be, and then my dad kind of just like, you would have just grew up here, you'd probably be just a more, my life is crazy.
Where's your dad?
In Washington, but he was in the service. Okay. So, he traveled the world. He just wanted me to kind of have that lifestyle. Like I said,
Washington,
my mom.
DC or Washington?
I'm assuming Washington.
State.
I ain't even
But no, he just
there one time.
That's where they retired at when they left us. They was in Germany for like 9 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they was overseas, and like I said, my dad wanted me to grow up there. But growing up, like I said, my dad don't fuck with each other, so y'all know how to go. Like, so growing up as a kid, dealing with that, I was really just scared to go. I had an idea in my head that what my dad was gonna do to me and all this stuff. Not nothing bad, like, but it's just take away. Like I wouldn't have friends. My mom like, you wouldn't have a phone. You wouldn't see your friends and play. As a kid, as a kid, you kind of like, I'm gonna stay here then. So I kind of stayed here. But I definitely think that I wouldn't. And then now it's crazy that you asked that though, because people ask me now like. My dad, in a sense, will ask me, like, why can't you do what you're doing in a different state? Like, if you feel like you're so, like, he don't think I'm successful, but he thinks that if you're able to network so well that you say, and, like, obviously he knows what I do in my life, so he's like, I kind of see what you got going on, so it's like, why can't you come here? He wants me to live with him though, out of selfishness, and he just feel like he can provide a better, I guess, like, support system for me than I have here, because I don't have family here either. Like, I'm not from here though.
Yeah.
My family's from Kentucky, Ohio, Texas, and Louisiana, so I'm like way
all over you.
yeah, I'm all over, but like, so me being here, like, I got a couple of family members. Like I said, like, I don't really have like family. It's not like I said, I'm born from, but I was raised here. So I definitely think I wouldn't be. I'd probably be. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I'd be doing something.
You'd be doing something else.
Yeah, not wouldn't be nothing, but I wouldn't. Like, I don't regret nothing though either. Like, I don't regret nothing.
But you probably wouldn't be on the path of getting into music or maybe trying to be a producer if you grew up in Washington.
I really feel like I would probably be doing some like nerdy, goofy shit. Like, I would probably be like nerdy as fuck. Like, I don't
You'd
know.
be on a whole different path.
I would probably be on a whole different path. Like, I'm telling you, I'd probably be like, if I wasn't working in a fucking grocery store, I'd probably be working like in the mall. I don't know, I just feel like something crazy. Like, I don't know, something that's not me though. Like, I would not be who I am.
She
Like, I
could
wouldn't.
probably still model and watch.
Never mind. I was thinking of DC. I don't know what.
I just don't know, but I don't. Growing up with my dad, like growing up
He
anywhere
wouldn't
else,
let you do that.
I would not have been who I am. So like, I really would have been like a shell, like a whole everything, like
different person. So that leads me to you, Sue. What made you decide to, after the military, come down to the A? Like, what was it about Atlanta that?
Well, I have family in New York. I have family in New York. I have family in Cali. And I didn't want to go back home to Maryland because Maryland is not the place for nothing.
Yeah.
DC, like, unless, because it was a point in time when I got out that I was going to take a job at the VA.
Yeah.
Like, because I had to connect. Like, one of my friends, he actually was like one of the like directors of the VA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had like a
stable job.
Like, I was about to be a VA. Veteran Affairs.
Okay.
Like,
military
you know,
shit.
in DC at the Pentagon, like.
Yeah, facts.
Had his own, like, and I was gonna be right up under him, like, and I was gonna start
I
off like
remember you telling me about that.
Pentagon.
good salary.
Yeah, I was saying good salary.
Yeah, because the whole reason why I didn't get that job is because Twitter, you know, they do. It's the government.
That's what you told me.
It's the government. So they search everything. They searching all your social media.
Damn.
Twitter, I'm very reckless.
You was getting too wild on there.
You can't talk about the government in the wrong way sometimes. Even if you delete the tweet, they're going to find it.
They're gonna find it.
So I mean that, and I didn't want to go back home. Like, you know, I have friends, artists back in Maryland, and it's very hard. It's very few artists from DC. You know what I'm saying? That's made it to the main stage. So like, entertainment is not the spot for Maryland. And Cali's expensive. I had a little bit of money saved up. Where was everybody gonna come? Atlanta. Like, I gotta come to the place where like all my favorite people that I used to look up to is at. And like I said, just network. And I like the clubs. I came down here, literally, I came to Atlanta one time, then moved.
I like the club.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was it. Like, this is it. Because mind you, I went to Texas, I went to Miami. Stayed in Miami for a bit too.
Miami's lit.
But Miami
That's
is still not.
though.
But Miami's not the place. Listen,
it's
the
not work.
focus where I wanted to be at.
I've never seen Miami not like lit.
Miami's not for work though.
Miami's not for work, not for what I'm trying to do. I'm not saying it's not possible, but me being, when I got out, when I was 20, 21, 21, just turned 21, Miami.
Yeah.
And I was back in my, and I was lit. Hot girl too. Man, listen. I removed myself from Miami though to come to Atlanta because I realized like I'm out every night, just doing.
Yeah.
Miami is different.
Miami is literally a 4 or 5 day trip.
I definitely would say like I kind of can relate. Like when I first moved to Atlanta, when I first visited, when I visited on college, I just was like, oh yeah, I'm never
been for college.
I'm never going back home. This is it. Like it's over with. I came down here on a hot day too. It was a wrap. But I definitely would say like for me, there's no way I would be half of what I am, or even in the path of what I am, if it wasn't for Atlanta. For sure.
Yeah,
so I definitely feel like
sure.
the city that you live in has a direct effect on your career path and even the success of your career. Cause I just always think about that when I first started getting into working with the camera. I would travel sometimes to New York, and I would go to these hip hop shows in New York, and they wouldn't even be big artists. And I remember going to these shows, and everybody in the show like had cameras, and everybody had the best cameras, the best equipment, and I was just like, yo, the competition factor here is so crazy. Like you have to do something crazy to almost stand out. You know, I feel like you almost have to lose yourself to stand out, and that's why they say like 6'9", yeah, exactly. It's like 6'9". You really have to in New York to stand out in New York. You gotta fake lose yourself, and I always think about that. Like if I would have stayed up north or even went up north, because I almost went to St. John's University. And I was just like, yo, it's no way.
Right.
It's no way. So I definitely credit 100% of my success in my career to the A. But that leads me to another one. So, Marco, you are young. You kind of already know what you want to do with your life. You're on this path. How important is it, or is it important at all right now, that you get the support of your friends and your family?
How important?
Do you have this? Do you feel like you have the support of your friends and your family on this path?
Yes, I do. My folks, I came from an artistic family, so
Okay.
they definitely
They understand it.
support. And when it comes to friends, I wouldn't say all my friends are like yes, I want Marco to win, because a lot of them, because when it comes to art, photography,
Yeah.
it take a long time for people to even look at you as more than like a service, so, but at the same time, does it matter? I definitely don't think it's good if you have it, but at the same time, if you don't have it, because I know coming from an artistic family that a lot of folks' families aren't artistic.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I even went to Howard to study acting was crazy. Is kind of crazy, because I know people that I grew up with doing acting, same age, but they got senior year. Their parents was like, all right,
It's a wrap.
that's cool, that's cute.
Right.
No,
exactly.
you feel me? That's acting, pictures, anything. So I feel for artists. So I'm like, really, if you don't have that support, the only support that you really need is yourself. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, as long as you supporting you, that's all you got.
Yeah,
Just worry about yourself.
Facts.
Nah, that's very real. That's real. Yeah, so for me, I think that I definitely went through a phase where I feel like the support wasn't there from friends or family, and I could definitely relate to that. I think I had to tap into my own self to figure out, I trust myself, this is gonna work. I'm gonna figure it out. And I think that I was watching this movie called Glass. Y'all ever seen the movie Glass?
Bro,
I feel like
I know Marco done seen it. I was watching the movie Glass the other day during quarantine. We didn't have much to do. And in the movie Glass, if you don't know, Samuel Jackson's character is all driven around highlighting the best qualities of human beings, and showing people that human beings, or the way you look at human beings, or that there are some people that are not natural or normal human beings. There are some supernatural beings here. And his theory is the world wants you to kind of dim your light so that you fit in. And the whole movie is about how he created two superheroes, and how his whole plot on life is to expose them and to let them be free and be as powerful as they are. And I remember I was watching it, and I was just casually watching it, and then at the end of the movie, he explained his theory on why he does it, and he said, belief in oneself is contagious. And that just started to just repeat itself in my head so much. And then I just started to think about people like Diddy, people like Kanye West, and the reason why they're so inspiring is because they believe in themselves. You know what I mean? They believe in themselves so much that it's either gonna make you uncomfortable and hate them, or make you damn near believe in yourself, or believe you can do it.
That's real.
I know for a fact.
Yeah, you start to feel that way, and then you look at those people, and while I like those two examples the most, is because the other side, they put their flaws on Front Street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kanye I'm a college dropout. I didn't do what my parents wanted me to do, and then look at him now. Both of them are billionaires.
Right.
And I think that's crazy. But yeah, I think we can kind of end it there. For real, I think that was a good topic. Before we wrap completely up, I want you guys to go around the room one more time. And I want to just kind of hear like one goal career-wise you have for yourself. Maybe one that you're like chipping away at right now, one that you're working on. And we're going to end the show on something like that.
I feel like one career goal. I really wanna like lock down, secure my job title, what it is, with music curator. Like, not only do I want to be known as a music curator for Cam Kirk, but I want to be known as a music curator in general. I want bigger brands. Like, no disrespect, Cam. Like, Cam always been a part of everything I do. I feel like, you know that. But I feel like, I want to get to the point where bigger brands, let's say, as far as Apple or like, I don't know, Spotify, like just bigger companies, bigger brands. I don't know if over time bigger companies come out or whatever like that. Yeah. But I want to be having offers from them people. Like, I want people throwing offers at me to the point where they're like, we know if you work with Cam, can we figure out something? Can we have you on our team? Can you come to this, or can you do a concert for us, or can you put together some type of something? Like, that's what I want to create, a different lane for myself, and also for just individuals. I feel like what I do, there's not really people in the same field as what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to create and what I'm trying to start. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like we have a lot of good stuff coming soon. So it's like I want to just try and create new things, new situations for everybody. So that's
what's up. That's what's up. What about you, Keenan?
It's so crazy. My mind be racing, but I've been like looking at like a lot of movies, and I've been seeing like the photos from the movies, like.
The stills. You want to do that?
I do.
Oh my God! I see some Black Panther. I wish I took them.
I low key want to get on set.
On the movie set.
And
that's fine.
Yeah, I want to do that just because like how my style of photography is. You feel me? Like, I might not be your best portrait photographer or your best sports photographer. I love sports, but like I know like if I get how many hours they be on hot, bro, I know I can have something. I'm gonna have some gems that's gonna live long, like forever.
It's so famous, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of famous,
like
pictures.
Even like sitcom series, like I know y'all been watching my story. I've been watching The Wire.
Oh yeah.
If y'all ain't seen The Wire, like
it's a great time because it's free right now on demand.
Those pictures from like, cause like that's my styles, like documenting, like
the
hood, like the grittiness, how I grew up, like that show really like made me just think about like I want to get on set and really just capture the moments and tell a story. How I'm doing like in the hood in Zone 1, Zone 2, through Zone Home. So
well, you're in the right place.
I'm definitely in the right place.
Now we gotta get you on some sets. Tyler Perry, where you at? Hi, my boy.
Perry.
We gotta get it going. We gotta get it going. What about you, Sue? You just had a drop yesterday.
Friend just dropped some shit.
But no, she been on humble, like she don't know what she wanna do. She dropping clothes, everything. She got a whole brand. She ain't telling y'all that. She had a drop yesterday.
But yeah, like I'm gonna be for real. Like my Hosa Prada brand, my female brand. That's like my That's my brand. But like my bread and butter is my male collection I have dropping called 2 Cents Worth. That's like my bread and butter. Like, cause a lot of people aren't expecting the type of quality and material, like just my overall packaging, my marketing, just everything. So like one of my goals is to like get my clothes in the Kiss or like a brand like that would like have my in the Webster or it's something like that. That's like one of my like goals for that right now.
Coming soon.
Or Saks.
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
It's on the way. On the way. What about you, Marco?
Big goal that I have. I want to work with Marvel. That's pretty much like if I can say like a big goal. I want to work with like Marvel.
In what capacity?
I want to hear Marvel.
You don't care.
That's the thing. Like I literally don't care. Like the day I see an email with Marvel and it's like Marco, are you interested? Because it's just like people don't know like. Okay, yeah, Marvel, he like comics, but it's like the Marvel universe to me is just so different and like big. That I started reading those comics so young that's the way I look at the possibilities of art.
Yeah.
That's why when I was thinking about the question when he asked me like "Do you have any big goals?" I stopped. I don't know who told me, but to do it, but someone told me to stop putting the timer on stuff. So like, I don't really set any art goals. Like when it comes to creating a short film, I got like 5 scripts in my Google Docs that are just half finished, and I just write. I write on them when I want to, and then when it's finished, it's finished. So like big goal,
That's it. Your dreams don't have an expiration date on them. You know what I mean? But if you listen to other people, you listen to society, they think it does. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I'm most inspired by. Even when I look at, like, I'm gonna just keep using Diddy and Kanye, they inspire me. But when I look at them, it's like Kanye's 42, I think.
Yeah, 40 something.
And he's like living his best life right now. Like he's just on the XL. You know what I mean? And Diddy at the same time. And that was a lesson I learned early. Just like with my ideas, it's just like if timing is everything. So it might not be time right now, but that don't mean that idea is trash. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had an idea for the studio in 2015. We opened, I think, in 2017. You know what I mean? If I would have just been like, oh, I couldn't do it in 15 when I wanted to, wouldn't have made sense. But one of my goals, I would say, I have a plethora of goals, but one of my immediate goals, I would say, for this year is to put out my next art project. So I'm working on a follow-up to the exhibits that I've been known for, I've done in the past. I'm working on a new one. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna change my life, so I'm looking forward to it. DJ Holiday checking in. I'm looking forward to it. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys checking in. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Appreciate
This is the After Podcast. We'll be back in about a week or so. On another topic. So definitely send us some suggestions. What y'all want us to talk about? This podcast is meant to be a podcast that I feel like we all can, learn from, but we also can learn from each other. I've learned a lot on this podcast from them. Just hearing different people's stories can let you know you're not in this by yourself. So whatever else y'all want us to talk about, what other topics, let us know. We're gonna always try our best to be as honest as possible with you guys, and just tell our real story.
The real feels so good.
Yeah.
I like the real.
So also, last shameless plug. I've seen this comment a lot. Cam Kirk Studios, we are open right now. We are taking
Cam Kirk is open.
Bookings right now at the studio. So if you're in Atlanta, if you've never been to our studio, pull up. I'll show you guys a little bit, but we in the studio right now.
I'm gonna be here.
So if you haven't been here before, definitely pull up, check us out, come do a tour, come do a shoot here.